It's only a little after 8, but I really want us to, if we have questions or comments or stuff, we've done some of these trades in our sim. Like, what can we talk about with put credit spreads from last week? What questions popped up? What's going on? Are we clear? We're not clear?
Well,
Go ahead.
I don't have a question, but I did want to make a statement after listening to the call Saturday.
Okay.
Like, I really feel like something clicked in my head when you were talking about getting out of the trade when it's breached. And you said if you consider doing 3 times the premium. And that made so much sense to me because I kept saying, well, do I wait till it get 50% and then sell it? I kept, because whenever I'm breached, I'm like, when it looked like I'm like hoping it's going to turn around.
Yeah.
But at some point, I got to decide where to cut it off. And so I'm like, okay, 3 times, that makes sense to me. Like when I calculate the risk, because it's not max loss.
Right, exactly. So if you take in $20, then you would potentially close it when it's worth 60. Or if you take in 15, you would close it at 45. That's one way to do it. Of course, the other way is, with the technicals and with what the chart looks like, but or wait as long as you can up until give it I generally we'll try to close it on Friday because theta can help you all those other overnights. You need theta to kind of eat away at some of the premiums. And if you can wait till Friday or Friday afternoon, then if you're going to be close to a loss anyway, sometimes that works out great, sometimes it doesn't. But like today with that SPY trade, I waited all day. It kind of was at 40, 45, and then it was at 60, then it pulled back a little bit. And then by the time it got to like 3 something, I was like, well, if I get into the 3 o'clock time frame and it's not doing right, I'll go ahead and close it. So I ended up closing it for like $66. I took in 20, I think. So it ended up being about the same thing, but I waited as late as I could wait. I know that, the broker was going to close it anyway. If you leave it too long, Thinkorswim will come through and close it because they're going to watch their own risk management. So I close it like 350. But if you close it on your own, you get to pick what you close it for. If you let the broker close it, they close it at market, and market could be the total amount. Market could be whatever they pick is the market. If you close it at the limit that you choose, then you at least know what you closed it for.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad that was very helpful to you. What other things? Johnny, have you traded XSP this week? How has that gone?
Yeah, I've been trading it, and it's been like I did 2 trades. One of them was where it didn't pass. Remember how you said it doesn't breach to go all the way? So how is that again? You said as long as it doesn't pass your thing, sometimes it'll just hit the sell position and not the buy position.
Yeah, you also want it to be at expiration is when it matters most, is that at expiration you don't want it to be past your sell strike, and if it's through both of them, then that's going to be max loss.
But what if it just hits it?
If it hits it, that's fine.
But as long as it doesn't, with the shaded part don't go past it.
Right. Exactly. It's all right if it hits it. If it closes below your strike, then you're in good place. You're in good, if it closes above, but depending on whether you got to put credit spread or a call credit spread. But if it doesn't close there, if it doesn't expire, let's say you got 116, as long as it doesn't go, expire 116.10 and 116.20, you're good. You want it to be very, very close to 116 or lower.
Gotcha. Okay. And I wanted to also say congratulations with the upgrade on your YouTube increase in your YouTube thing.
My YouTube subscribers, I've been at 8,100 subscribers at this point. It's growing and growing. Yep.
I was going to ask you about that because the last time Jamie was talking about it was 3,000, right? Oh, you took off. All right now. All right now, educated a trader.
Yeah, it's moving steady. You know what? When I told my husband the other day, I was like, I got over 8,000 subscribers. He was like, what? He said because before if I got 5 more people, I was telling him every time I got anybody, I was like, oh yeah, I got 3 more people. I got 10 more people. And then I hadn't mentioned it in a while. So then when I mentioned 8,000 yesterday, he was like, what?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Who's next?
Yeah. Uh-huh. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to the 10. I'm not sure what happens at the 10,000 mark, but I'm wondering if there's like if they show it to more people once you cross 10,000, like what is the next threshold that matters to the YouTube people? At this point, we're just gonna keep doing what we're doing. I need to start recording more videos that we we upload and do those, because now almost all my content is the live content we have in the mornings, and then I have content that's been there for a while. So I want to make sure that I'm still, putting up, loading up new content that is, recorded, edited, all the good things that go along with that. My editor being busy, I've been keeping my editor busy, and he ain't started complaining yet, but I'm sure it's sure to come. Anybody else got questions about anything to do with your credit spreads or anything like that from this week? Any trade questions or whatever? If not, we'll get going. All righty. Well, let's get popping. Let me share my screen so that way we can make sure. Come on, Mousy. Mousy. Are you there? Yes, this is where you are. Bring you back to the other screen. Your editor will complain when there's no work. Well, there is work. I have such a gracious editor. Hey, Asleen, how you doing? Hey, Valerie. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Janetta. Hey, Kim, how you doing? Hey, Janae. Kim, you made a response to one of my messages the other day. You're the one who said about the fragrance net, the fragrance place. Was that you, Kim? Yeah, that was you. Have you, my biggest thing is I haven't like discovered the fragrance that I want to like buy over and over. My son bought me some My Way by Armani for Christmas, and I like it, but I don't love it. So I've gotta go and test out some stuff at the mall. But I want to find, I used to have a signature scent. I used to wear diamonds and emeralds. I wore diamonds and emeralds. That was my signature scent for a long time. And then I switched and I never like found another one. So now I gotta find a scent that's like mine. So when I go order, I'll know exactly what to order. I had found some when I lived in Bahrain, but then when I left Bahrain, there went that. I still have the fragrance, but I need to buy more, and too far away. Too far away. Test out at the mall, then order from fragrancenet.com. I think I'm gonna do that, Kim. Thank you. I think I'm gonna do exactly what you're saying. All righty, let's share my screen. Y'all know I will go down some rabbit holes. No comments, right? No, nothing from the peanut gallery. I know the peanut gallery. Okay, so last week we worked on put credit spreads. We worked on those last week. This week we're going to do call credit spreads, which is basically the other side, right? Call credit spreads. We're going to get deeper into them. We did our check-in. I was asking if anybody had any other questions they wanted to ask, anybody needed anything clarified, anybody run into some problem, anybody want to share a success, anything like that.
I do, but I'm trying to get in the house now. So
Okay.
I'll wait till
Okay.
afterwards because I want to
Okay,
ask
well,
about my Robinhood. I'll wait though.
Okay.
I'm just getting home.
Okay, let's talk about when you get settled, we can talk about it. Okay, we got call credit spreads and we're going to have homework. This is our session 7, right? So our session 7, the last one we have is scheduled for next week, and next week is really like a wrap it all up. After the week, after the 6 weeks, we're gonna wrap it all up, bring all the contents together, all the strategies come together. We're gonna have had some time to practice all of them, and then we're gonna do a full wrap up next week, okay? So next week ends our full deal, okay? What is a vertical? This is gonna feel a little reviewish from last week, but it never hurts, because repetition is the mother of learning. So you're entering into an options contract with two options, right? You've got a buy leg and a sell leg, or a buy contract and a sell contract. You've got two contracts together. There are two types of verticals. There are debit spreads, which is where you pay to enter. If you're a buyer, you would do debit spreads. It's a way to be a buyer for less money, right? Less collateral, not collateral, less money, because you have to pay to do debit spreads. And then we have credit spreads, which is where you collect a premium. We know that because we've done that. We talked about that last week on put credit spreads. We're going to talk only about credit spreads here, not debit spreads. If debit spreads is an interest of yours, though, just let me know, and I will I'll put the video into the chat, and you can see, especially if you are one who likes to buy sometimes or all the time, and you want to see how to do some buying. Like you think like debit spreads are good for things like the NVIDIAs, or bigger stuff, SMCI, stuff that's big, but you don't want to pay a bunch of money for, like, SPX contract. You can do debit spreads on those. SPX contracts are like $1,500 a piece. Who wants to do that? So if you can do debit spreads to be able to trade those as a buyer without putting so much money on the line. All right. So call credit spreads are also called bear call spreads, because you're expecting the price to either stay flat or to go down. This is a bearish call. Credit spreads is a bearish strategy, right? It's like covered calls. We had our covered call strike above current price. Same concept for call credit spreads. Works just like covered calls. Put credit spread, we talked about last week, also called bull put spreads. You're expecting price to stay flat or to go up. Works a lot like cash secure puts, except for you have a protective leg along with it. You have you have the sell leg, and you're entering in a buy contract as well. Okay, you're entering the trade as a seller. Same thing from put credit spreads last week. The broker is going to reserve collateral in the amount of the width of the spread. So one spread, $100, 2.5, $250. We're good here. You'll keep all the premium if the price is below your sell strike at expiration. So these are call credit spreads. We're doing them above us. You keep your money as long as the price is below your sell strike. Put credit spreads, price had to be above. Call credit spreads, put the strike needs, or expiration of price needs to be below. Selling a call credit spread means you expect the price to stay below your sell strike. And I know I'm saying kind of the same thing a couple times, and it's because this is where people really get confused as to, I'm doing a call credit spread. Do I want price to be above or below? You want it to be below. For put credit spreads, you want price to be above. You want price to be above. The benefits, straightforward strategy, can be done on any equity. You select the strike above the resistance, and you can have consistent profits without lots of collateral. A one spread requires $100. If you take in $20, really all you're putting up is $80. The 50-cent spread pulls in $15. All you really put up is $35. And you're not even really putting that up. Your broker is just blocking away that buying power. You haven't spent any money. You just can't spend that money on anything else while the trade is going. Okay. As a call credit spread, you're going to sell a contract and you're going to buy a call contract. You're selling a call and you're buying a call at the same time. That's what makes it a spread. Okay. All righty. The difference between these two strikes makes it be called a spread. One spread, 50-cent spread, $50 of collateral, 2.5 spread, $250 of collateral. Does anybody have questions so far? Are we clear on the cost of spreads and what are we talking about? When I say one spread, do we know what I'm talking about? Okay, we're all good? Let me make sure I can see the comments. Okay. The buy contract, okay, so look at current price would be, for example, $100. Current price would be 100. I don't know of a stock that is hanging around 100 right now. I can't think of one. Sale contract is going to be the first one above it. When I say first one, sale contract is between the current price and the buy contract. When I say first one, you want sale, you want to have current price, sale leg, buy leg. Current price, up, sale, up, buy. Now, you want this sale leg to be beyond your resistance. You do want it to be beyond resistance. And the reason is you think if price does go up to it, it will, your expectation that it will hit it and come back. So you want to select a strike above resistance for your call credit spreads. And then you buy a contract above that. Current price, up, up. It matters that you put the sale strike first, because if they're backwards, that's a different trade. If you put the buy leg first, then the sell leg, that becomes a call debit spread, and that is bullish. So you're doing the complete opposite of what you're thinking. Okay, so our steps. You want to chart your resistance on the daily time frame, select the sell strike above that, select the buy strike above that, and then decide on whatever expiration date you want. Remember, time decay is our friend. That's why I was talking today about entering spreads, for tomorrow. Because if you do it on the same day, you have to be mindful of your using a day trade, right? You have to be mindful of day trades if you're going to use it on the same, if you enter on the same day. Here's an example for XSP. These numbers are now, XSP is a little bit higher than this, but these are the numbers for when I put this together. You want to chart your resistance on the daily time frame. Let's say the resistance was at 450.57. You want to sell a strike above that. So pick 451 or higher. So at 457, you want to go up to the sell leg, and we chose 451 or higher. And then you want the buy leg above that. So 450 is the resistance. You want to go up for your sell leg to select 451, and then you go up again for your buy leg, 452. You switch it to vertical on your option chain. You got 451, 452, or 452, 453. This is on the call side. Call side. I'm looking right at it. The call side. Make sure that you're on the call side looking for this set of numbers. On the call side, select the bid box for the spread that you have chosen. This is what all that looks like. In Thinkorswim, you want to be on vertical. Going to be on vertical. And you got your strikes here in the middle, whichever one you decide you're going to pick. And you're looking over here to the bid column to decide. Now, we did this last week. For those of you who practice put credit spreads, we did these same activities, but we did them on the put side. We did them on the put side. Questions so far?
Yeah. Later on, when you get to the chart part example, like because what I was noticing when I was watching the trade, sometimes it's like I'm watching it all the way at before it hits 4 o'clock. And then it'll teeter with like 1, 2, 3 points. I'm like, come on, stay down, stay down. So I'm just like, is it a way to like, so I'm like, oh man, next time I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna put like 0.5 or something so I can at least be like, okay.
No. I mean, basically, it's weird because at the end of the day, that's when we used to do a power hour call where we would be on the call together as a community, and we would be at 355, 356. We'd all be, some people would be sweating. If they were in the trade and it was too close, we'd be sweating together, because by the time you get to that time, you're like, well, there's really nothing, there's not a lot to do, but just watch. And you're like, and it could be the longest 2 or 3 minutes. Those are the longest minutes.
But I'm talking about when you put it in your trade, is it a way to go 0.5 so you can have a little bit more cushion when you doing it? Like, is it selected?
Only if the 0.5 is available. If it's not available, like in this case, sometimes it does give you the 0.5, but usually it doesn't. So it really depends on if it's available to pick, then yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what area is that you can give that option to do that?
It depends. I mean, really, like somebody said they saw, I think it was Tanya who said she saw on Fridays these 50-cent things start to show up sometimes on Fridays. It's weird. I don't know what makes those pop up. I always think they're suspect though, because if you got all these one spreads and then right in the middle a 50-cent spread shows up, it's like, well, what are y'all trying to say? It's gonna be in here or something like that. What are you trying to say? It's gonna end in the middle.
And it's no area where you when you're putting in your buy order, you know how all those different buttons, there's nothing there that can make that.
No, you only can use these 0.5s if they're available on the option chain. If there's they're not on the option chain, they're not available.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, either they're available or they're not.
I was gonna say though, that example of the 451, wait, if the resistance was 450, then trying to get into there's no way I'm getting into at 451, 452, let alone 453. That's real close. I don't do that close. We ain't cousins. Nah, I'm not doing that.
It depends on what time. If it's 450.
Fair enough. So if it is 3 o'clock, you're right. If and those are the only premiums, then yeah, I'm chancing it. But yeah, if I had early in the day, there's no way.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. I totally get it. I do. You're going to win the trade or keep all your premiums when the price expires below your sell strike. You suffer max loss if the price is higher than your buy strike, right? So we had what, 452, 453? If price is above 453, you're going to suffer max loss. If price enters, if it expires between those two, then you're basically going to have to pay what it's worth at the time. So the value of the trade is going to be worth what it's worth at the time you're trying to get out of it. It's going to be worth what it's worth. Sometimes you think it's only in the middle, it should be $50. Sometimes the middle is $75. It's worth what it's worth, right? Okay, if you want to close the trade, you want to go to the monitor screen, select one leg of the trade, hold the control button down, select the other option. You want to select both, turn both of them blue if you're in Thinkorswim. Then you want to right click and click the select buy, and then input your buyback amount into the limit box. If you know what you want to pay to get out, then put that in the limit box. That's how you can put in your close orders early. Or if you're ready to get out at the time you see it's where I want to be, open up the box and whatever's in that box. If you like it, just go ahead and confirm and send. But you can adjust what's in the limit box. You can adjust what's in the limit box. What stock do we want to look at? The reason I had us looking at XSP is because it can provide daily opportunities, but I don't think it's a place where you should trade live as a newbie, because it's daily. You need to be watching daily, right? And all day, I won't say all day, but you need to watch a good bit of the day if you're doing the 0 DTE, because SPX, which is what XSP is what SPX is what XSP is based on. And SPX can move pretty rapidly. So XSP will go with it. So if you're not watching, you could end up with your trade being breaching, you're not even paying attention, which is why we do like the weeklies, because we put in our weeklies, then you don't have as much, I'll say you don't have as much to worry, quote unquote, about. You just have to watch it throughout the week, not necessarily watch it all day long like with XSP. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen now. This is XSP we're looking at, and we're on the daily chart. I'm just going to go here. Actually, I want it to go. Were y'all on the call this morning when we were talking about TQQQ? I took that trade, T triple Q, what did I end up getting? I think I did. Why did I not write it down? This is my little place. Yeah, I should have wrote that. I should have wrote it down. Not sure why I didn't.
You
I
said
did
you
T triple.
need to work on your journaling.
I know. Hi, I wrote them down. I wrote all the other ones down anyway. I didn't write that one down. So T triple Q, we're on the daily chart, right? Of course, this was where we were today. Well, this was before, we're looking at this morning. This was today's candle, which is kind of a hammer. Let you know it kind of wants to go up a little bit more, looks like. If we were to just go, it's not a long hammer, but this is a hammer. Right, looking for resistance for call credit spreads. Resistance would be this big candle over here, right? Resistance actually is where we are right now. We're right in the area based on this candle. We're right in the resistance as well. This zone can go up as high as this 59.24 because this wick went up a little higher. So just know that this zone could go up a little bit higher. I'm going to put a rectangle on it. I don't usually use rectangles for gaps, but I want you to know that it could come up as high as this. Okay, to let you know that this could be the room that it could go up to. I didn't want you 59.24. I think that is the top of this is 59.20. Okay, so this is what I see for resistance. Now, if we're looking here, if we were looking for a trade now for next Friday, we're looking for next Friday because we're not going to enter tomorrow for tomorrow, but we're looking for next Friday. What do you think we should do for our strikes? If we're looking at a call credit spread, because I know Jamie's going to jump in and go, I would be doing a put credit spread myself. I probably would too, but we're talking about call credit spreads right now. What do y'all think we should use for our strikes?
Above 60. Above 60, that too.
Above 60? Because this is a good resistance. Of course, if we wanted one more, if we thought we needed one more piece of resistance, we've got 61.75. I would probably go with above 60 here. So let's go with I'm gonna write this down. Let's write in our little place. Our sell contract or our -1, we're gonna sell. T triple Q I think has a 50 cent. Sell 60.5, right? That's above this 60.2. And then we would go above this and buy 61. That makes sense? 60.5/61 on the call side. Do everybody see why we came up with those numbers? I want to make sure I can see the chat. Okay, then let's switch over to the option chain. 60.561 going in here. I'm going to go out next week, right, to May 17th. Because we're not going to look at tomorrow because today's Thursday and you don't want to set up for a day trade. We're on the call side. So we're looking over here to the left on the call side. Yep. I'm on single right now because I want to confirm the strikes with the probability out of the money column. Okay. Now 60.5, according to our chart, 60.5 would be okay. But according to our probability out of the money column, this column right here, let me erase that so we can see. According to our probability out of the money column, 60.5 is 67% probability out of the money. That's a little closer than we would like to be for a strike, even though according to the chart, it looks like it would most likely be okay, but we want to use all the pieces, all the data points to make sure we're getting a good strike, because our desire is that price will not come to our strike. So 61 may be a better place. That's a 72% or 61.5, depending on, what your risk tolerance is. We also have over here the plus minus number, plus minus 3.2, which is another way we help to determine whether this is a good strike or not. So if we were to take our 5877 and add 3 to that, that will give us what, 6177? Right, I usually get like round and comfortable. So that means I would go with either 61.5 or 62. Okay, so the first thing we looked at was the chart. Our chart gave us 60.5 as the first resistance, but our chart also showed us this 161.75 is another one. So this gives us reason to say 62. That puts 2 resistance places between current price. So if we went up to 62 or 61.5, we may still be fine there. Okay, so that's what makes a jump to 61.5 and 62. We took that, looking at the chart, looking at probability out of the money. You want to get at least 75%. At least 75. 75% probability out of the money means there's a 75% chance your trade will be good. And 75% is pretty good odds. Some people want better odds than that, but I'm okay with 75. Actually, I'm okay with 70, but sometimes that don't work all the time. It works and sometimes it don't. Time it works, sometimes it don't. But 61, 61.5, 61.5 and 62, I think we're cool with that. So now I'm going to switch over from the spread, I'm going to switch over from single to vertical. I'll switch over to vertical. I can erase some of this stuff here because we decided we're going to go a little bit higher. We're going to go a little higher. Okay, looks like once you get to 61.5, 62, that's the last 50-cent spread. After 61.5, 62, it becomes a 1 spread at 62. Okay, so if you want 50 cent, you'd have to, go with this, the last one of the 50 cents ones. If you're okay with $1, then we go with the next one, the 62. Let's see what 61.5 for next week. 61.5, 62 is paying $12. Okay, so $12 is our premiums. Okay, that came from here. How much collateral are we having to put up? Is it $50? It is a 50-cent spread, but they gave us $12.
38.
So once they give us money, Kim, we can subtract that money from the collateral. The broker gives us 12. Someone say the broker's gonna help us pay for the trade. So the broker gives us 12 in premiums. So our amount is $38, which gives you the total of the 50-cent spread. That gives us the total of the $50. Okay, where does this trade, if we pick this, where does the price need to expire for it to be a successful trade? Where does the price need to expire?
Below.
Below what?
61.5.
Below 61.5 is going to be success. Yes, there we go, Kim, below 61.5. When would we have max loss?
breaching 62, passing 62.
Above 62 is max loss. Which will be max loss would be they're gonna take their $12 back and the $38 of yours. So the max loss of your money would be $38. Very good. $12 on a 50-cent spread is a 24% return. Y'all, if you watch me on Facebook, you all see me sometimes write return on collateral. It's not the return on the investment because you didn't make an investment, but you did put up some collateral. And the return on your collateral here, 12 divided by 50 equals 0.24, which is 24%. 0.24% return on, those are pretty good odds for 5 or 6 days, maybe worth of trading. Because I find that when I enter trades on Friday, I enter on Fridays, generally Monday or Tuesday, those trades are ready. Those trades are ready to close. T-Triple-Q this past week has been acting kind of wonky because I went in, PeakBot did my T-Triple-Q last Friday, and it's still not, it's closed, but it's not ready to close just yet. It didn't get ready. So I got on the other side of it today because I had 59.61.5 is the trade that I had for I have a call credit spread 59.61.5, which y'all see how close this is. That's why it won't close, because the price is that it's been hovering up here 58.77. My strike is 59, so it's just hanging way too close to my strike. And so I did the put credit spread today to match it, so that way I'm using that same collateral. And I took in like $27 on the other side, something like that. All righty. What's another one?
Condor?
I made it into an iron condor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was a call credit spread. Today I entered the put side, so I made it an iron condor. I figured if my collateral was already out there and it wasn't closing up in a short enough period, so I might as well make a few more dollars off it. And the put credit spread side is ready to close already. Which other stock we want to look at? Is AMD a one spread? Apple seems to be making some moves these days too. That'll be a 2.5. We'll look at that one next. Mara had earnings today. I don't know how they did. Anybody look to see how Mara did on earnings? I did not look. This afternoon, I decided I was getting out of the house. And I left home probably in the 2-ish range, which wasn't the best timing to leave home, really. But the market wasn't quite closed yet, but I was going to try to go and be back at a reasonable time. Y'all see how that went. Okay, so looks like we got a gap in here. That is partially closed. It was partially closed by that candle. I'm going to move it again to, this is what's left of the gap. I'm looking at AMD. Okay, we got some lines on here. When we're charting for call credit spreads, we're charting for support or resistance. Call credit spread, we're charting for support or resistance.
Resistance.
Resistance, yes. Thank you. We're charting for resistance. Is the line I have accurate? Is this line accurate? I would say no. I don't know why. That was there obviously from before. Go up, that would be 160 would be the place I'd see there, but there was a gap that was between these two candles, between the April 30th and May the 1st, there was a gap created. Y'all see that? And the price action has come back and tried to fill some pieces of that gap, but hasn't really filled it all. A lot of wicks and stuff are happening in here. Let's drag it out now so we can see where actually all of it is. All of this was a gap. We've got the gaps in here, so we can honestly adjust it now. I want you to be able to see that the gap was April to May. Now what we really have left is this part at the top. But the bottom of this gap is going to provide some support, resistance, demand, supply, buy zone, sell zone, all of the same. A lot of them mean, well, demand, I found out that demand and supply are not the same thing as buy zones and sell zones. They're a little bit different. I thought those words were interchangeable, and they're not quite. Okay. If we're looking here, current price is 152.39. Based on the chart, where should we put our sell leg and our buy leg? Based on just the chart. Where would you put it? Just based on the chart.
Your sell leg, I would put it at 60, 160.
You go with 160, okay? Okay, and it's really gonna kind of determine that this is not necessarily a wrong answer. You need to know where you're comfortable. Johnny is saying he'd want to get up here in the 160 range. Anybody else have a place they want it? Johnny says a sell leg. Come on.
I concur with Cortez, 162.
Cortez like 162. Look, protect the brother. Okay. 162. Now 162 is about 10 points away from current price. 160 is about $8 away from current price. So as far as the chart goes, both of those are fine. Okay, both of these are good places. Let's go look. 162 puts you above this wick also. So that may be, you know, if you want to make sure that I'm way out of the way, then there we go. Let's go and look on the option chain.
Do we consider average how much AMD moves?
Yes, we're gonna go look at that.
Okay.
The average true range, that's it. That's a good thing to look at. Absolutely. So we're looking for next Friday. I see over here another, you know, we look at here over the plus minus number. The broker is saying it's probably going to move between plus minus 6.99, which is 7. So plus 7 minus 7. So we're going to add 7 to our 152. It's going to give us 159 and some change, right? So 160 could work. 162 could work. Let's look at our probability out of the money at those strikes. Probability out of the money at 160 is 81. Probability out of the money, you got 162.5. It's a 2.5 up here, is 87. Where you're going to see the difference is going to be in the premium. Because the further you go away from current price, the further you go from the heat, you're going to have more safety, but that extra safety means you don't exchange as much money for being safe. So let's look at what are we going to make if we use 160 as our sell leg, and what are we going to make if we use 162? Change it to vertical. Okay, the 160. 160, 162, this trade is going to pay, when we click it, it's probably going to change a little bit, $30. And the next one, when we click it, it's going to pay around 20. I want you, if possible, you want to try to get at least 10% return on your collateral. This is a 2.5 spread. So what is our collateral going to be? What's our collateral?
Is it 250?
It is 250. Yep, collateral $250. That's what the broker is going to block away, and you're taking in either $30 or $20. I'm going to click on this because it's probably going to be a little higher. Notice the market is also closed. When the market is open, these numbers are dynamic. So if we do the 160, 162.5, we're taking in $35, it says. Okay, you're taking in $35. I'm going to click on the other one so that we can see what it says. $22 on the 162.5, 165. This is very close to 10%. So both of these, again, are good trades, all when where you're comfortable, right? So if we did the 160, 162.5, we collect $35. We're going to get $35 in premiums. Okay, so we've got, give me that back. $35 we're taking in premiums. How much of our money is the broker going to block away? How much of our money is the broker going to use for collateral?
215.
215. There we go. 215. Where does this trade need to end to be successful? To be successful, where do we need the money to expire? There we go. I see Kim says below 160. Yep. And the max loss is going to be where?
Above 162.50.
Above 162.50. Okay. Remember, you can close these trades whenever you want. So if the price has moved below 160 enough for your, your money to be for you to be profitable, you're free to close this trade whenever you want to. 70% profit, 80% profit, 90%, you can ride it to the end as well. Whenever you want to close this trade, 50% profit. I think Jamie was talking about somebody who closes it at 50% profit. Now, generally that's a buyer's move, but some sellers you close up trades at 50% each time, you definitely going to have a lot higher success rate. If you're not holding them till they go wrong. I was trying to see if I had to go ahead, Johnny.
How do you add again to get to the 250 to know how much they're gonna take? Like, where did you add that up on the chart on the
So I took we knew that it was 250 total, right? But they gave us $35 in premiums. So the difference between the 2.5 spread, which is $250, the difference between that and the money they gave us leaves 215 of our buying power that the broker is going to use.
No, I'm sorry. I meant to say, how do you know this is 250 going to be held? Like, is it a way to add that up?
Yeah. So when you're here on the option chain, so the difference between these two, numbers is 2.5. 162.5 minus 160. So that spread is 2.5.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And then you multiply that times 100 shares, which is $250.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Okay. What was I just thinking? My brain was going to something. Let's look at a small baby. I don't know if anybody, Exxon is a one spread. I was thinking what 50-cent spread we can look at. We can look at Mara. We're already here. Looking at resistance at $20.64. Right, there's a gap over here that's just above that. The gap that not filled from back here on April the 1st and April the 2nd. A little bit of it got filled, but not all the way, not even halfway. Well, kind of price action kind of went halfway. And it hadn't been able to push past that, right? So what do you think we should do for our call credit spread strikes? What should be our sell leg?
I'm going to 23 because this is Mara.
23? Lord.
Mara,
$4 away.
Mara be moving. Okay, 22.50.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you're going above. Let me see.
Tanya, don't change your numbers.
All right.
Our list will be too close.
Listen. Oh my goodness.
Our list
It'd
is
be
like,
your
if it
own
ain't on the
people.
screen, I can't go there.
Bitcoin decide to move and Mara gonna move right along with it.
Mara gonna be gone. Oh, y'all are so funny. Okay, so we do have a gap here too that hasn't been filled either. Mara might want to get into some of these little gaps. There we go. Okay, so I'm looking at 22, 22.5, right? Because there's resistance right here. That's 22, and then the top of the gap is 22.4. So 22 or 22.5. Because current price is 19 and some change. Okay, let's go look at the trade. Let's go look at the option chain. Call credit spread side. We're on the single. And we're looking for at least 75% probability out of the money. That looks like the 22 strike. We got plus or minus 3.2. So we add 3 up here, 3.2. This puts us at 23. You add, so look at Tanya with her numbers. I'm going to 23.
Yeah, I'm going to 23 on Mara.
Okay. So 22 or 23. 23 is 82% probability out of the money. That's 23. Okay, so now we're gonna switch over to the vertical. Okay, so if we wanted to do, let's see now. 22.5 is gonna pay us 8 or 10. Once we click it, it's probably $10. 23.5 is gonna pay $6 or $8. Okay, so let's click and see. 22 paying $10. 23 is paying $8. Okay, now I probably will go at least 22.5, Tanya. Okay, so this is a 50-cent spread. This is a 50-cent spread. We're going to receive $8 in premiums. How much are we going to have to put up for collateral?
$42.
42. So Cortez, the plus minus number is called implied volatility. I just call it the plus minus number, but the official name is the implied volatility. And it's basically where the broker believes the price won't go past this plus minus number. And it's a dynamic number. It changes along with the day. The closer you get to expiration, it starts to move. If the implied volatility is high, which means that it's going to be moving around a little more, that number will move around as well. But we use these all three pieces, the plus minus number, the probability out of the money, and the chart to all help us to help us select a strike. Okay, so we're going to use $42 of collateral. Where is there success on this trade? Where does the price need to end for us to be successful? Huh?
Below 2250.
Mm-hmm. Do I have a thing there? Nope, I don't. Okay, so below, not two L's, they only need one. There we go. Below 22.5, and what's max loss? Yes, above 23. Above 23 is max loss. Tell me what questions we've got. I may need to go into on demand because I want you to be able to see the money. No questions?
You know where you were just at. You know where it says strike. If you go back, when you put in the order, see where it says strike. When you hit that tab, what does that do?
This right here?
Yeah.
It allows you to pick different numbers. So
Okay.
if you decided you wanted to widen your spread, maybe you wanted 22.5, 23.5, which makes this a one spread, you could do that. You know, you can change the width of your spread here. You can say 23, I want to be 22.5, 24. And then it changes, of course, the width of the spread is going to change the money. But you can select different strikes here.
Got you. Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you can change from call to put here under type. You can change from call to put. You've got this to open, to close. This is auto, but the system knows what it wants. Then you've got the plus minus here for how many contracts you're doing is over here under quantity. All the drop downs have some stuff that they're doing in here. That answer your question?
Yes, thanks.
Okay, cool. Any others that we have? I'm gonna take us to on demand so that way we can enter some, like all the way through the steps, and then we can see what the money looks like. Lisa, are you in a place to ask your question?
Yes, on my Robinhood, it was when I last checked it, it was saying just like green zeros. Let me see if I can pull up on my phone. So I
Maybe your
was
trade is worthless now, which is good.
okay, so I should be trying to close it.
Well, if it may not let you close when something's worth zero, then you just basically have to wait the timeout.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I think it expires tomorrow anyway. So.
Yeah, that it may, well, tell me what trade it is or whatever, and then we'll look to see the price. It may have already expired. It may be like worthless, so you don't have to.
Okay, and then another thing I want to mention, I got an email saying that for me to sign up for create my login for Schwab. So that means I must have had the TD. I know I remember signing up, but not anything on there. So
Okay.
does that mean that maybe I do have the Schwab?
Yes, it does. If they're asking you to create a login for Schwab, that means you got TD Ameritrade.
Yes, they did. Yes.
Mhm.
So it's INTC. I had the 32
Okay.
to 32.5 calls. And then the Nova, I had the $3 put with both of them is saying plus 0% in green. So I'm not
Mhm.
understanding that.
Okay. Tell me, you said the INTC was
32, 32 and 32.5.
on the put side or call?
It was on the call.
Okay, call credit spread. Let me go look at
Yes.
I'm gonna go look at the current price,
Okay.
and then we'll be able to see. As long as if it's below 32, your trade is good.
Well, right now it's saying current price 30.
Oh yeah, then your trade is
30.
it's worthless. Basically, it's not worth anything. So that's why the zeros are there. So that way, I mean, you just have to. You can put in an order, like put in an order with the 0.01, just in case the price decides it's ready to get on a horse tomorrow. Or you can just let it go for the day. I probably would make sure that if it's done and it's got all day, you either gonna have to watch to make sure it don't go back above 32, or go ahead and put in a close order so that if it does start to move, it'll get you out of it.
Okay. And then the Nova was for $3 put. Wait, let me see.
Okay, you did that as a cash secure put?
Yeah, but that one don't expire till the 17th. So
Okay, you got another week on that one.
yes. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you.
I got the thing, I'm changing over to Schwab this weekend too, so they keep sending me a message about setting up my login as well.
Oh yeah. I think they said what the 10th or 13th?
Yeah, yeah,
Friday.
yep, the 12th, 13th is when it'll, I guess, be at the new spot, so I want it
Yes.
to be no problems. It's gonna stop my peak bot, because peak bot and Schwab aren't running together just yet.
Oh, okay.
That's that's just for this week.
Yeah. And then I also have my Webull too. I just don't know how to use it yet. I tried the paper trading on there.
Yeah, okay.
So I gotta get a little more knowledge with
Yeah, you're
Webull.
gonna have to take the time to push the buttons. I can't even guide you and direct you on Webull because I don't have a Webull account. I can't
Yeah,
even
no.
help. And there was one person, Miss Jackie, I'm not sure if she's here tonight. Miss Jackie had Webull, and I'm not sure if she got it figured out because she's placing some trades. If there's
Okay.
anybody else here who does Webull that wants to offer Lisa some assistance, I'm sure she'd be grateful.
Yeah. Mhm.
How's the situation with the bot, the peak bot thing? Did you let it close on its own?
The tomorrow is gonna be the one to close on its own. That TQQQ is the one that's not closed, and I'm just going to let it do its thing tomorrow. That's how I'm gonna see the Delta Airlines one. I closed it early, and then it opened it up. It opened up another one on Tuesday. I was like, that is not what I wanted you to do. But I closed that one today. So then the Delta Airlines has opened and closed twice in 1 week. And but the TQQQ, because price keeps kind of bumping up against the strike, it's not it hasn't closed yet. So I get to see tomorrow what it does. I get to see tomorrow.
Okay.
Let me see. Let's see what's down here. These were some trades we did a couple weeks ago. I may need to go back and enter us some spreads so that way we can Why is all that not showing? Okay, let's go back to April 22nd. We'll go to a Monday. And then we'll look at a trade and we'll go through all the steps. Then we'll go to the end of the week and see how it plays out. This is using on demand. If you have Thinkorswim, on demand is a way for you, we've talked about this before, is a way for you to go back and back test and check and see what would have happened back then, what actually happened on this particular day. You can go test strategies. You can go and do some of that if you're using on demand. It's in your live account, you have to use on demand. It's not in the sim. It's in your live account. Now we got to think about which stock do we maybe want to trade that would have a call credit spread. Well, all of them would, but where would we want it to be? Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? Okay, I'm looking at, okay, what's our first step when we're gonna do call credit spreads? Step 1. Or spreads at all. What's our first step?
Chart.
Chart. You must start with the chart. You got to start with the chart. Let's go to a daily time frame so we can see what the daily candles look like. I've told myself I need to now start to chart more in the evenings because when I get up in the morning, I'm running out of time to do all the stuff I want to do before the market opens. Okay, I'm going to clear all these off. Clear drawings. Yes, clear them all. Are you sure? I'm sure. Okay.
Does it matter if the overall market is going down or up?
It depends on, it wouldn't matter if you're trading something that is the overall market. Like if you're trading SPY, then you're going to want to know what's happening in the overall market. If you're just trading Amazon, then you want to know what's happening in Amazon. Right? If you're trading, but if you're doing SPY, XSP, those are overall market. Triple Q, you're going to know what's going on in tech. If you're doing SPY and those ETFs that include a lot of other things, then you're going to want to know, you're going to have just an idea. I mean, there's no way to know what's happening, but you want to have an idea. You know, if the overall market is going down or going up, which is why we talk about a lot of this stuff in the morning when we get on our morning calls. We talk about a lot of this in the morning, so that way you kind of have an indication of what the market is doing. There are people who won't trade the SPY and the SPX and those because of the fact that there's so many different things that are inputs that can make your trade go south. Some people will only stick with just a one name. The only problem with that piece is if you just got just a one name, if something happens with that name, it's gonna, at least all you gotta watch is one piece of news. If you're dealing with SPY or something, you gotta kind of listen to the news about everything, because you gotta look at Apple, you gotta look at NVIDIA, you gotta check out Microsoft, you gotta look at AMD, you gotta look at all these different things if you're doing like an SPY or something like that. But if you're just trading NVIDIA, then all you gotta watch is NVIDIA and watch maybe the other semis. You know, you don't have to watch anywhere near as much stuff. I say find a stock that you like that's paying you what you're looking for and stick with it. Rinse and repeat. If you like Exxon or Oxy or NVIDIA or AMD or TSM, if you find something you like, just ride that. You know, Amazon, Apple, you like it, you just ride it on. Okay, so we're here looking at the daily chart. I was going to put on some resistance. I'll probably go here. I bet this is a chair. Down, took a break, down some more. This is SOXL. I switched over to SOXL because I think it's a 50-cent spread. But I think this is at $40 and the current price is at 32. So we're on Monday looking for a Friday expiration. This is the date, we're on Monday. Let me change this time because I didn't want to be at 16 o'clock. I want it to be at 11 o'clock. So let's go, let's go, let's go. Well, that was fast. Usually takes a little bit of time for on demand to get you to the right. Oh, it went right back to the same time. That's why it went so fast. 11 o'clock. Go. 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 Why do you keep going back to the time? I don't want that time. Okay, now I'm telling you where we're going. Go. Ooh, that was way too much effort. Okay. I think our resistance is still the same place. Let's look back a little further though and see if we see something that's anything closer. So we do see this 40.62. If we're looking back here, I see there's something right in here, this little zone here, these two candles. I'm not sure if y'all can see that. Looks like these two here. There's some support or resistance right in there. The chart is important. Don't minimize the power of the price action. Okay, so I see that's at 35. Okay, so according to the chart, we can go with 35-ish or 40. According to the chart. Current price is at $30.74. Let's go look at the option chain. We go to trade. We're looking for this coming Friday, which will be that same Friday, not this Friday. That's way back in April. Call credit spread. Which one do we like for strikes here? What probability out of the money do we like? $33 is 73. $80 is 34. Plus minus number, you don't get the plus minus number inside of on demand. They don't give you that. Over here where we normally get our plus minus number, you don't get that in on demand. That's a real time thing.
34.
34, okay. Let's change over to vertical. And we're gonna go with 34.35. 34.35. Click on the bid column. 34.35 is paying $17. It's paying $17. So, okay, we've got, where'd you go? Come back. There we go. We've got $17. Come on, baby. There we go. $17 in premiums. We're gonna have $83 in collateral because it's a one spread. The difference between these two numbers is one.
Did you choose one or is SOXL a one spread?
I chose SOXL. It's a one spread.
Oh, I didn't know it was one spread.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to hit confirm and send, and then we're going to see what this says here in the box. Basically says you're selling, we're selling a vertical SOXL 34.35 call, and we're collecting $17. Our break-even price is 34.17. That gives you a little bit of room at the line at the 34 strike. Your max profit is $17. That's the most you're gonna make on this trade. Your max loss and your collateral is $83. And the cost of the trade, it's in parentheses, which means they're going to give you $17. All right, they're gonna give you $17. Then when you're ready, we can send. We should hear our bling. No bling yet. I'm gonna clear this off so we can see. Well, it failed. Oh, no, it didn't fail. What did it do? Oh, it canceled it. Let's see why it didn't. Why you didn't like my trade? I'm not sure why you didn't like my trade.
In demand, you could back the order.
You could do what to the order?
I mean, this your date is 4/22. You can go back and put a.
Yeah, on demand lets you go back.
Oh wow! All right. And Tanya, yeah, I think SOSL that it is 50 cents normally. I think this strike happened to be $1.
Nah, I broke up with SOSL. We not
Oh,
friends.
y'all had a breakup?
Yeah,
My,
we not friends.
oh, we not friends? Well,
That's
yeah.
either because of Intel or Nvidia. It's one of the two polar opposites.
I need to pick the, Jamie, are you here? Oh, there it is. I need to reset.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to reset. I want to try to clear all these off, all the trades off. I usually pick right there. I usually pick this.
You trying to reset everything or?
Yeah, yeah. Reset, no, not the workspace. I want to reset the money.
Oh, just the money?
Yeah, I want to close all these and reset the money. That's why I thought it was down here.
Hold on a second. You're under activities and positions.
Yeah.
Go to adjust account.
Where you see that at?
On mine, it's under. Hold on a second. Let's see. You don't. So you see over here where you have over by where you see this widget off to the right side.
This one or this?
I can't see your mouse. Come straight down from where you are. Come straight down. Down, down, down. Now stop. So you see that double arrow right above it to the left?
Mm-hmm.
Click that.
Mm-hmm. Then what?
Did you click it?
I did. That's what all this did.
What was going on with your
When I
setup?
clicked it, it made it drop.
Oh, hold on a second. Because right
Usually-
there that is where my adjust account shows up at.
That's where mine used to show up too.
Alyssa, what did you do?
What? Are you serious?
I'll see if I can find it, but that's the area where mine is.
This is the area where mine usually is too.
Okay, I'll look for it.
We need to look quickly. It won't let me enter the trades. Oh, it's empty. It cleared. Wow.
What
Okay.
did you do to clear it?
I don't know.
Lord help us.
Okay, yes, help us. All right, so what did we have? 33, we said 33 or 34. Now let's see if we can. It still doesn't seem like it wants to take that trade. Why are you doing that? Why are you rejecting? Buying power will be below 0. That's why I just reset. So my buying power, how you gonna be out of money inside of, how you gonna be out of money inside of on demand? Okay, wait, right? What are you doing? No, not applicable. Your buying power is not applicable. Where, usually there's a, no, Lord, I don't know what's going on. How you at on demand and don't have the money? What's up with that? Anybody else using on demand who got any insight? Because I don't know what's going on with this. Using,
Oh, you know what?
no, I don't know what.
Maybe you can reset it in the sim, but you can't do it on demand.
But I would always do it in on demand because I would practice in here and then I would reset it and start over.
Yeah, I've only done it. I've only done it in my sim. I don't even know if I've ever tried to reset it on demand.
I reset in here multiple times.
Okay.
Okay, so let me go. I'm gonna go into here because before sometimes you could reset it. I know in sim you can reset like inside of here. Now this is going. This is not the way this is supposed to be going. Wait a minute now. New layout, old layout, add group, reset columns, groups, reset sorting. Yeah, when you're in on demand, Janae and everybody else, you can pick the date and the time that you want, and it allows you to do your like back testing, whatever testing you want to do. You go back and re-see and see again what happened at that time of day or that week or whatever. You're testing out strategies. This is a good way to do it. But since most people don't have on demand, we definitely talk about doing things in your sim. Reset the workspace to default. I want to reset the money. Where did you go? Poof. Poof. Gone. Okay. I don't know what I did. Okay, I got plenty of money. I'm on demand. Where were we at? Are y'all still here? Y'all quiet.
Yes, we're here.
Y'all here. We're here. We're watching you. Figure out what's going on.
I remember when SOXL was $20 last year, between 16 and 20. That sucker never moved. And so I always thought it was a dud. I was like, I don't know why people keep.
It'll trade pretty decent. It'll go up and down.
Oh,
So
it'll
that-
move right through your shirt.
Taya's like,
Well,
oh, it
that's
does
because
move.
of NVIDIA and
Taya said it
SMCI.
does move. Taya said, don't try her. It moves.
That's now, but I'm telling you, last year that sucker just stayed at the 18, 19 mark. I was like, does this thing move? I was like, why everybody wouldn't be in SOXL?
Yep, it moves. Okay, so we're on vertical. We had 34. See if we can get us some money this time. There we go. Oh, that was way too much effort. Okay, so when we go to monitor, SOXL is here. I want you to be able to see what's happening with the money when you're looking at your option chain, what is going on with the trade, right? It says here, shows you here, you entered one trade, one contract, one sale, one buy. If this, the -1 is the sell leg and the +1 is the buy leg. That's what this -1 means you're selling, +1 means you're buying. There's 4 days until expiration. The difference between these two is what you received in premiums. In our case, we received $18. These are your premiums under trade price. What was your trade? What did you receive? You received $18. Mark is the current price. Like, what is the current worth, basically, of your trade? What's it currently worth? In this case, it's worth about the same thing because we just entered it. Worth right at the same thing. Mark change is the difference in the change. I usually don't keep mark change because there's no benefit to having it. The P&L open was how much money is open. At this point, we're down 50 cents. And P&L for the day, I usually don't keep this either because to me, I don't care how much I won or how much I benefited today. I want to know what's the overall. But I usually change this to include P&L percent because I want to know what is the percentage. Okay, I take off mark change. I keep mark because that's the current price, but I put in P&L percent because I want to know the percentage of the profitability of my trade. Notice here you got P&L percent is -2.78, so it's down 2.7% now that we've opened it. I'm gonna get rid of P&L day ain't even there. How is that here? I want to get rid of you, but anyway, doesn't matter. So let's move forward. Like, let's move forward till the next day. Let's move forward to tomorrow. Same time and see what we see for tomorrow. Okay, where'd the price go? Did the price gone through our strike? This market changed a whole lot. Okay, so we've got 34 as our sell leg, 35 as our buy leg. Looks like the price is at, this is current price here. Current price is at 34.14. So our sell leg is 34. So at this point, our little trade is a little on the breached side. A little on the breached side. So let's look, what is the current value of this trade? Now I just picked SOXL and know what happened this week. So the difference between these two, we can subtract these two here, right? We've got a 5 and a 4. Looks like it's worth $45, right? It's worth $45 and we got in for 18. Shows here our P&L open, we're down by $28.50. Our trade is down $28. Come on. Oh, there we go. Our trade is down $28 at this point. Okay, we took in $18. It's currently worth $45. The difference between these two is this $26 or $27 up here. That's where our trade is on Tuesday. I see a question, I think. But you want P&L to be at 70% before you close. Yes, you don't. You want it to be in a positive, not with a minus sign in the front. You want it to be with a plus sign in the front. Let's move forward and see what let's move forward to the next day. See what Wednesday. Now this is, we all, I'm saying we all, most of us are aware of about how it feels when your trade is, you're hoping your trade is got better sense and it don't have better sense. Okay, now looks like our trade is definitely going. SOXL is moving on up. Janae says it doesn't move, but it's currently at $36 in this particular trade. It's at $36. Our current price here, $36.03. So we're breach at this point. Right, the difference between these two is going to be that 50. Well, these two, this is going to be The difference between these two, we got a 2 and a 7, $72. This is the current worth of the trade. So we're down $48.50. This may be the place where you would consider, do I want to exit? We're talking about that 3X. Do I want to exit this trade and buy it back and just walk away with my $50 loss? Or do I want to see if it's got a chance to come back down? Okay, this is where you would go, look at the chart to say, okay, let's see what the chart is showing. Is the chart showing that it's going to recover or it's going to come on back down into where I want it to be? I know y'all having a hard time seeing through those stuff I wrote. We're on the daily chart. Yes, we are. Okay, it's currently at 35.87 is the current price. And we want it to be below 34 because we have 34 as ours. Let's move forward another day. See what happened on Thursday. Go back to the trade screen. Sorry, the monitor screen. We're going back to the monitor screen. Okay, price is still hovering at $36. Our trade is fully breached, right? We're down $70 at this point. What do we do? What do? You can stay or you can say, I'm good. I think I've synced enough. Or you can stay. I'm gonna take us forward one more day. So at least we'll get to Friday and see what Friday holds. And then I'm gonna show you how you get out. Yes, you do want your trade to be at plus 70%. You want to be at positive 70%. Janae is at $39. Janae said SOXL don't move. Are we on SOXL? Are we even on SOXL? I needed to be on the right place. Okay. Current price is about 100. So it's completely like it's 100% breached at this point at 11 o'clock in the morning. So if we were going to let's get rid of this. Let me clear off this so we can see. Okay. I want to take us back a little bit in time so that way we could see when it's not fully, it's not worth nothing. 09. I can say 34. Maybe it'll give us a little bit of SOXL decided it was moving this day. It would be my luck. I'd pick a time that's okay. 37 is here. I'm gonna pause this now so we can see what to do. All righty. So I told you about closing. You would take the first, you click on the first option leg, and then control button, click on the second one. So they both should be blue. They both should be blue. Then you want to right click and get it to create a closing order. And you're going to buy back. Now it says 127. We're not buying for 127. The max worth of this trade is 100 because it's a one spread. It's not worth any more than 100. So I usually put in, at this point, sometime I would let it expire worthless if you want, or because it's not worthless, it's worth the max loss. And if you're already at max loss, you might as well let the time continue. I put in something in the box. This all says basically you're paying $95 to get out, which your max loss is then going to be the $95. That's what you're paying to get out. And then you send it. Now this order should still be working. It says here it's worth 126, but it's not worth that because it's a one spread. It's worth no more than $100, right? A one spread is worth no more than $100. There's no way it's worth, it's almost like you can't. Anyway, it's not. It's all at, there's no more. There's no more to that. Let's take us to later in the day. I'm going to take us to 15:35, which is like 3:30 in the afternoon. See if everybody decided to sell on Friday. And the price fell back down. I don't think that's going to be the case, but we'll look and see. No, it kept on going, $39.95, $40. This is the week that SOXL, Jamie, you should have been trading SOXL this week, on April the 20th, the week of April 22nd. So you see here, it says the mark is $1, right? That's the most this trade is worth as a loss. Now, this trade would be max loss because the price is completely through, both of our strikes. Our trade was 34.35 and the current price is at 39, right? Our trade was 34 call credit spread. Sorry, sell leg. Come back here. We had 34 is our -1, which is our sell leg. And we had 35 as our +1 buy leg. And remember, our success happens under here. And the max loss happens up here. Now, this is a time when you look at, if you're in a trade and the prices are going, and day after day, it's like it's not going to turn back. You're looking at your candle patterns and you don't see any recovery happen. This is where you use your 2 or 3 times what you took in money, and you can say, okay, I'm just going to back out of this trade. If we got in for $18, 3 times that is going to be what, $54? So when it got around the $54, you could buy it back for $54, and then only thing you've lost, your loss then is what, $36? That's your total loss. If you exit early, you've only lost $36 instead of the whole $82 that you lost, that was max loss. And that's a hard decision to make. It's a difficult decision to make because you really expect that it's going to do its thing. You expect it's going to do what you want it to do. Now I'm going to do this same trade. I'm going to take us back in time. I'm going to take us back to the 22nd, and we're going to look at a put credit spread because I want you to see what happens when the money is going down. Okay, we're at 11:30. Looking at our chart. I don't want the volume down there. Because that to me gets in the way. Okay. I don't know, but looking at this chart, looks like, I guess we probably should have looked back to see where we at support, and looks like we definitely were. So, we're going to look at, we're going to look at a put credit spread. Now, of course, we don't get the privilege of knowing what it's going to do before it does it. That charting helps us to know a little bit more what it might do before it does it, but we don't have a crystal ball. Be nice if we did sometimes, though. Come on, where is the end of this? There we go. Okay, this is the end of this. And I'm going to get us, this is if we're looking for support, like a put credit spread, we would have been right here in it, around it. Big old gap underneath here. We're going to wrap up soon. So if we're looking here, I probably would go with 28.5, 29. Let's go look at the option chain. Put us back on single. Looking on the put credit spread side. And we're going to do our probability. We got to add another column. If we don't have probability out of the money. $76 would be 28, so 27, 28. We of course know it's gonna work because we just see what the price did. But let's go and do 27, 28. we're going to collect our $15. $28.75, we're collecting $15. $85 is our collateral and our max loss. And moving us forward a day, we know the price started moving. We'll put us on the monitor screen so we can still see this money. Just look at the top two, because the top two is the trade we're currently in, the put side now. Right? We got in and we collected the difference between these two, 33 and 49, is what, $16? We collected $16 in premiums. That's what's in the trade price. Current value, though, already, the difference between these two numbers. Can y'all see those numbers? Do I need to make them bigger?
I can see it.
Okay. The difference between those two numbers is $3. That's because price has moved up away from that put credit spread strike. Okay. So now look here, Cortez. See up here? Well, everybody, not just Cortez. But you see here where the profit and loss is. Profit and loss here says 81%. On that main line, it's 81%. So it's in a place we're ready. We can close it. Can we close it, Janae? Janae's like, there's more money to be had. Okay, so we're gonna, I'm gonna quit bothering you about that. We're gonna select this line, and then we're gonna select the other line. I know you're a good sport. We'll select both those lines. I'm going to right click and then create a closing order and use the first one here, buy vertical, because we're buying our vertical back. So we're gonna right click, create a closing order, buy the vertical. And it tells you here that the vertical is currently worth $3. Select that. Let me clear these things out of the way so everybody can see. Now here in this box, if you wanted to set your price, let's say you said I wanted to sell it for $1, then you can use these the plus minus buttons here. You can use those to adjust it. Or you can type in this box. You can say, I can just type it in here. You can use your keyboard and type it and then click that. Make sure this is on limit. Okay, make sure it's on limit, because you put market, they're going to choose for you what they want to give you. And this is the amount of time. This order is good for today. You can also pick, if you drop this down, you can also see GTC, which means good till canceled. GTC means good till cancel, which means if you put this order in today, if it cancels today, good. If it doesn't, it'll stay there until it triggers. Either till expiration or till the price gets to $1. Okay, so I'm gonna pick good till cancel just because I know it's gonna get there, and I left it as $1. And once I'm ready, I can confirm and send. So then I like to put in my close orders, because then in the working place, it shows here, I'm asking for $1. The price I'm asking for is $1, but mark is the current, remember, mark is what it's currently worth. It's currently worth $3. I want $1. It's currently worth $3. So I'll do, like if I'm closing different trades, I'll put in my close orders so that way I can look in one place and see how the trade is like diminishing or going in the wrong way. Like today I had SPY, and as it was going up and down, I could just look in one place to see what the value of the trade is. If the trade value is going higher, that means the price is getting closer to my strike. If it's going lower, that means the trade is going away and time is decaying. I'm gonna take us to 1544. It may surpass that because the price was moving pretty good. It might pass our little $1 desire. So I'm at the end of the same day, and that trade is now worth $2. I would want $1. But sometimes if it gets to the end of the day and I'm ready for it to release my buying power and I'm like another dollar ain't gonna make or break, I will right click over here in this box around this area. I will right click it and cancel, replace the order. I will right click here in this trade area. You probably can do it other places. Yeah, I usually do it over to the left, but looks like you can do it anywhere. I right click and then I do a cancel replace. Cancel replace order means I can change what I've asked for. Now I'll change it to $2 because I'm going to go ahead and let it close for today. And so my buying power can be released and all the stuff. And it's going to send this order. And it should pick up. May take a few minutes, but that's the way you put in your close order. Okay, I want to review very quick what the money looks like. What are these things on the money? Quantity is the number of contracts. The days is how long before it expires. Trade price, the difference between those two is the amount that you received in premiums. The difference between, when you got a spread, it's always a difference between these two. The difference between them is what you received as premiums. Let me check off the blue. And then mark is what it's currently valued at. We took in $16. It's currently valued at $2. The difference between these two. P&L percentage says it's worth 87. This trade is 87% profitable right now. How much money is that? It's $14. We're going to take $14. P&L on the day, again, I don't even use this column because I don't really care. I mean, basically saying this is how much it grew today. And buying power effect, I don't really look at that one either. It basically says how much buying power did you use for this trade. I don't look at that either. Questions?
Statement.
Yep.
For those who are not aware, those columns that Alyssa has are not native to the default, so you can add those columns yourself by clicking on the widget over to the far right.
I thought I showed that part because I did that. I think I did that. I went over to, wasn't there something over here that I used? I don't even see it. I thought I put them from here. Over here.
Statement number 2, at the top by the on demand, where on demand is, that tab, if you go to the far right corner, there's that little, so under that widget thing, keep going to the right, tiny little, right there, click that. There's your reset account.
There's a reset. I knew it was up here in the right hand. I knew this is how you reset the time and you reset the account. It'll close out all the trades and reset the money and everything. Thank you for that.
Thank you for thanking me.
Yeah.
Because normally you'd be like, thank you, Jesus. Like, what?
Look at God. Be like, look at God. You're like, what?
Wait, really? He gave you that, huh? Okay.
He gave you to me. So then
okay. Well, thank the messenger. How about that?
That's right. Well, thank you. I do appreciate it. Appreciate
that's
it.
how you get to it, folks. But
Okay.
the one in because that's what I was saying earlier I was trying to say, like, some of the stuff in on demand and in the sim is not the exact same thing. So that same type of reset is on is close, further down in the area we were working in when you're doing it in the sim.
I knew it was up in this top area. I don't remember it being that little drop down box though. What other questions do we have? I know we've been here a couple of hours. Want to make sure that we got our questions answered. Everybody does have still the videos. If you did not watch your videos, the videos that I put in your chat walk you through these steps as well. The videos that I put in for in your chat will walk you through doing credit spreads. Here we go, master credit spreads. And then this other video has some examples in it. And where I talk about the money, I talk about all the things in there. How do we find our strikes, so on and so forth. This is all, it's all in here, okay? And if these two don't get it, of course, there's lots of other videos I have on my channel about credit spreads. But we talk about credit spreads, of course, also almost every morning. What we don't talk about as much on the YouTube calls is what the money looks like. Is how do you read the monitor tab to understand whether your trade is profitable or not. We don't talk a lot about that, but we have to maybe do a better job of that in the future. Any more questions? I want to know something. If you all can type a little bit, I know we're at the last, but tell me this, because this is our 6th week. Tell me what kind of value, like, are you finding that these strategies are useful or of interest, or, you know, how's the teaching going? To, you know, put a little, if you want to open your mic, you can, or if you just want to type it in the chat, you can too. But I'm interested to hear really how you all are feeling about what all the stuff we've learned. And it says, it's great, you explain well. Thank you. There's a lot to it. I just don't want to feel like that's why I include the videos, because there's some things that if we sat here and really went through all the nuances, we'd be here even more than 2 hours. So I give the videos so we can get the information in our own time and space. Anyone else? What are we feeling about the strategies? Are these something you can use going forward? The info has been great. Your teaching breaks things down well. I just need more time to play around myself with yeah. I'm in the last 2 weeks of the school year, so I haven't had much time. Oh my goodness, the last 2 weeks of school. I already know about that. That's where I was the last couple of weeks doing finals and such. I know that there's a lot to do. Cortez says yes. Karen says definitely. Okay, cool. I want to make sure that, I mean, I'm telling you, this is credit spreads is a big piece of what we do in this community. We do have some covered calls and cash secure puts, but credit spreads is what we do really on a weekly and daily basis. And as you know, as you lean in closer to credit spreads, you got, you know, SPX and XSP. Now, SPX, I want you to wait till you're good, because they'll take your money and you don't want that. So maybe start with XSP and some of those other daily ones. Jamie's been doing RUT and doing some other ones, and it sounds like Johnny's doing XSP as one spreads, but those are the daily expiration. And there's a lot of opportunity there. You know, you can generate 10 to 15% each day. There's a good opportunity there, but there's while there's opportunity for gains, there's also opportunity for losses. So I want everybody to be careful and be prepared. All righty, everyone. I'm going to let this video upload. I'll make sure to give you the link. Please remember that all of the videos that we have are in your Telegram chat, as well as they are in educatortotrader.com under the live coaching where you went to sign up. They're all there too in order. So you can just go to one place and see them all if you don't feel like scrolling through your chat. And you can feel free. I want you all to practice some of these call credit spreads. Find some. We're going to find one tomorrow. Enter it for next week. Or if you want to even look tomorrow, and do one for tomorrow because you're in your sim. Hopefully you're in your sim and you got to worry about day trades in your sim or in your practice account. But if you're going to go live, let's pick one for next week. I want you to pick, you know, something. Don't do a 0 DTE and use up a day trade. If you decide you're ready to go live, then go live for next week. So that way you can, you at least will not use a day trade up. All right. And then put your trade in the chat so that way we can look and see yes or no. All right. Okay, everyone. I'm going to bid you a fond farewell. I will see you all in the morning on the call at 9:25. 9:25. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
You're welcome. Good night, everyone.